All right, action. Flip the table. Flip the table.
And then it'll show like, you know, the guy who like, I don't know how to explain it. I load it up and it's not there.
That's me too. Every project.
Yeah.
The ones that like, that's what they sound like or whatever. What was your roll on set? Because you had didn't you have the paper?
I'm like,
Smurf.
yeah, like, whoa.
I guess we'd have to be like Jedi.
That'd be a little bit better. Oh, episode 3 would happen though. But we make it out. We make it out. I hope.
Welcome back to the Jordan Whitrock Show. I think it's like episode 7 or something like that. So if you're still watching, thank you. But today we have a very special guest. We have someone that I would say I met like a year ago. Didn't get to really know him much until this like last semester. So we're going to take this opportunity today to just talk about life, talk about everything under the sun. So please welcome to the show, Henry Pawlikowski.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. So as I said, we graduated at the same time, but I swear I've never seen you or I never saw you until like we had Smock's class.
Yeah.
That was the first time I think I saw you.
That was a pretty good meme. I call it a meme class because I actually can't believe I can't believe I can say this to anybody. I took an exam on memes. Or do you not remember?
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
They're
That's
like,
true.
They're like,
we had to create our own memes.
Yeah, like what's a JPEG? I'm like, okay. I'm like, this one. Yeah. I'm like, all right, this one. It was so weird. I can't lie. I enjoyed the class a little bit, but that exam about a little bit about memes and JPEGs kind of threw me off.
Well, my favorite thing was at the end of the year, he was Alex was in that class, right? Yeah, you sat next to me. That's right. Also, we have Alex in the house.
I'm back. Don't worry. Thanks for introducing me.
No, my favorite thing was at the end of that class, he looks to us and he's like, hey, I just want some feedback. So like, this is the last time we'll be teaching this class because it doesn't really pertain to anything in the real world anymore. So like, is there any things that you liked about it? So that as I like redo the curriculum that like, and I'm like, don't tell us that what we just learned and it was like not useful at all.
Oh, dude, I don't know if you remember. Maybe hopefully all you guys remember. Do you remember when we were looking on Twitter? Formerly known as X. A few people in class would say that. I still call it Twitter.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Do you remember when we scrolled on Twitter on that KFC meme site? A little bit? Yeah. We got really into it. I promise.
Well, I'm going to be honest. My favorite thing to do in classes is, so like if I know, I grab this. I'm not going to take a drink. I got to. No, my favorite thing to do is to get teachers sidetracked. And I'm so good at it. So I think in that class I would do it all the time. So I'd ask these questions that like they're good questions, but also it's like I kind of know the answer. Yeah. But they'll elaborate and then we'll get into a good conversation. I hope people piggyback off it. My best one recently was my last semester in band. Our professor sometimes like at the start likes to just chat about stuff. You know, he'd get on a rant, and I just kept asking questions. And I would look to the other trumpet people and I'd be like, watch this one. And he'd go on. We literally wasted half the class. It's an hour-long class. We got to the half hour in. What? And he's like, oh, shit. He's like, we probably should start. I was like, and I mean, the conversation we had was good. And actually, I learned about a lot of stuff. But like, did I need to ask that question? No, probably not. But I was like... But I remember that everyone's like, let's go, Jordan. Everyone kept looking at me like, pull up another one.
Oh, that's good. I love those kind of moments. I mean, I never spoke up. I kind of sat in the back. I'm sure we've all had a few classes, but I guess we weren't really vocal with each other until, like you said, junior, senior year, I think. No. But
Well, what did you graduate with?
I graduated with Bachelor of Arts, Radio, TV, Film, or whatever the university has changed it to now. I don't know what it is.
I think it's still RTF, right?
I'm pretty sure it's still RTF.
Yeah, I think they just changed what category it's under within the. Yeah. So, and did you minor in anything?
I did not minor. I earned 2 certificates in coaching and American Sign Language.
What coaching and what?
Coaching, I guess, could be track and field, basketball, baseball.
Okay. So just any.
Could be anything. Yeah. American Sign Language, though, is tricky. I am not fluent.
That's what I was wondering, because you're arts, so you would have had to take a foreign language or a language.
I kind of wish I took a foreign language because I say that because I'm on Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I traveled to Rome last summer, I started it in Rome, and I've been trying Spanish.
Hit us with something.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Wait, you went to Rome? Isn't that Italy?
Italy, yeah. There's
Wait, isn't Italian different than Spanish?
Well, people tell me. Well, hang on.
Sorry.
So people tell me, they're like, "Oh, you should study up on your Spanish because somehow it like kind of they're the same, not the same, but some of the things sound different or not different, but the same."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm trying my best. Practicing every day.
Yep.
But not as much. I mean, I would need to quit my job and do this full time. I'm going to be serious with you for a second. I would have to quit my job.
Yep.
And if I need to learn a language, I would have to pursue this full time. I promise.
What would you do if you had to pursue it full time?
I don't know. What kind of a career would... I don't know. You know those guides?
Yeah.
With museums and stuff like that? That's what I would do.
Okay.
Something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
You could kind of guide people. Oh, dude, it would just be crazy. Like, be kind of like you just see this, me, right? I'm tall white guy. It's no way this guy knows a lick of.
True.
And then,
boom. Brings out Mandarin or something.
Holy.
Yeah.
This guy's speaking fluent.
Okay, fair enough. I hated. I'm bachelor's of science because I was like, F foreign languages. I will literally take 4 lab sciences instead. Which, like, looking back now, don't know. I think you only needed to take like 3 like courses of language, which like probably would have saved me a lot of rough times at college instead of taking 4 lab sciences.
Sure.
So looking back now, maybe I would have changed, but like in high school, I hated it. I only got good grades in the class because the teacher liked me, and I'd play like teacher's pet because I was like, I'm not gonna ace but she'd be like, oh, he's trying, and I'm like, yeah, I am, but
you gotta do what you gotta do, man. No, trust me. I feel like I wouldn't say I've been in that scenario of a teacher's pet, but like I'd be, try to answer a few questions, like raise my hand. They'll be like, oh, what's the this and this? I'll be like,
yeah.
And they would call me and
Henry, please, would you please answer the question?
Well, if I knew what the question was, I'd have an answer. So I was kind of thrown on the spot. But if it was like, what's 2 + 2? I'd be like, ooh, I got this one. 4.
Bazinga.
Yeah. Bazinga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You kind of like ask a few questions.
That's so real, though.
Ask a few about the homework a little bit. Be like, hey, or like even on a quiz or something, be like, hey, like when you said this, do you mean like this or that? Like she could say whatever she wants, or he could say whatever. I actually meant blah, blah, blah. No, dude. Like I'm just trying to get those little brownie points. Yeah. So maybe if he reads something, like if I type up a paper, he'll be like, I'll slide him with like 80 or something like that. I know what you mean, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I was talking to someone. I was talking to Alex, and we were saying that like we were just saying like how like ChatGPT and how that's like changed classrooms or whatever, and how like the first time I've ever seen someone use it, I was in my lab for geography, and the guy next to me literally has just ChatGPT on one half of his computer.
Sure.
And like math problems on the other half. And he's literally just like copying and pasting the answers in. And then there was like a written section. He was just copying and pasting. Like it wasn't even like edited a little bit so it's not obvious. I'm
the
like,
whole thing.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's different.
I have ChatGPT up if you guys want me to ask it something.
I can't.
Wait, say, is it illegal to use ChatGPT for homework? Legal is kind of a strong word, but
I was gonna say it's probably not gonna say yes.
To save my own butt, I am not agreeing or denying that I've used ChatGPT on any.
Allegedly,
perhaps.
I might have dabbled in the ChatGPT once in a while.
May have gotten a few ideas. I mean, I can't lie. It's creative.
Oh, it gave me like a whole paragraph.
Did it really? About what?
It was like using ChatGPT for homework isn't inherently illegal, but it depends upon your skills.
Yeah, okay. I knew legal is a strong word, but
wow.
I know it's got like a whole thing. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a pro ChatGPT. Like, I don't. Okay.
Well, now China's got. Did you hear about China's?
No.
Okay.
What happened?
So ChatGPT is privately owned, right? Private company that owns it, right? And then you can either use their free version or you can pay to get in. China created their own, but it's the government created it. So it's free to use.
Okay.
But if it's the Chinese government and you're using it, that all that's going straight to them, right?
Right.
And so it's way cheaper. It costs less to do. It's less. I don't know what the word is. Like the energy is a big thing right now. So like all those tech companies are trying to figure out how can we like use AI at a cheaper cost for energy, or how can we create more energy? And that's the big problem right now. But China figured out a way for all to be less and create their own ChatGPT, which is like that whole thing of like when TikTok was going out and then they like Red Note, which was like straight to the government. Like the whole thing was like about security. And then it was well, all the Americans just started using the actual Chinese government version of TikTok. Yeah. Which is like, what? But
man, I've been off TikTok for a long time because my mom was actually like, China has, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm throwing you under the bus. China has all your information. I'm like, all right, you know what? I didn't feed into it, but I was like, all right, Mom, fine, I'll delete it. Yeah. I'm spending too much time on it, so whatever. So, I mean, I've been off it. I said to this before, Twitter, I think it's the funniest app. I spend a lot of my free time on Twitter, I can't lie. But, I mean...
I think it's so funny. He's giving like testimonies into the camera, and I just watch Alex because it goes straight to Alex's soul as he's like switching between it. And I'm just watching him break.
I gotta let him know.
No, it's true though. Like, you know, it's the most powerful to look straight down the camera lens. So if you overdo it, it takes it out. But if you've got a true testimony that you've got to bring out, that's the best way to do it. So
that's hilarious. Are you still on TikTok?
See, the podcast, I'm not gonna lie, has taken a lot of not in a negative way. I think I enjoy doing this way more than streaming. I still like streaming, but I have a TikTok for like my streaming. Jordan Whitrock, go check it out. No, but
add it.
Yeah, straight down the camera lens. No.
There you go.
No, but I just haven't posted anything recently.
Really?
I'm not creating the content enough to like take time to like edit it down and post whatnot. But yeah, I don't know.
You should give it a shot.
Also, TikTok's confusing because it's either like hit or bust.
Yeah.
Which
algorithm.
Like YouTube, and maybe it's just because I've spent so much time on YouTube, I know the algorithm, which actually is frustrating me with this show, because I'll post something and be like, yo, I'm using the same strategies I used for all my other stuff, and like it's not like great to get like 200 or 500 views. You'd want more, but like that's like at least, hey, got into the algorithm. I've got YouTube Shorts that are like 20 views, and I'm like, which is like just like the subscribers watching it, and I'm like,
I don't know,
this doesn't make sense because it's like it's not even going into the Shorts feed. So I don't know what that's about. So I got to figure that out. But that's throwing me a loop. But that's like what TikTok was for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like
this whole algorithm behind it. There's been a couple of times I'd ask my cousin, I'd be like, hey, like when's a good time to post on Instagram? And she'd be like, ooh, well, it was like 11 a.m. So it was like, well, it's lunchtime right now. So a lot of people are probably on. But I would wait until maybe 3 because that's when maybe people might be checking. Then I'm like, yo, I did not know social media would be that, in depth.
What's funny is literally posting at 5:15 on TikTok was the only way I figured out that my videos would get views. So
really?
I figured it out finally on TikTok to like at least get it in the feed. Not that it's gonna blow up. And then and then YouTube was either 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. for me. But now it's not like the algorithm's different or something's up because it's not working anymore. And I'm like, all right, I gotta switch up strategy. So I'm posting shit at like 5 p.m., 9 or like 7 a.m., 11. I'm like, you just gotta keep posting at different times until like one takes off, and then you just like put another one at that time slot. And if it takes off again, you're like, okay, I think we found our. Which is what happened with me and TikTok. Was like that's how I figured it out. I was just shooting blanks until something stuck.
Now I got a streaming question for you.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever? I catch myself doing this because I keep looking at that camera. I don't know why. What's up, Alex? But when something happens, or I was a huge YouTube kid.
You got a dump button vibes, or
no, it's it's like if you're playing a video game. I even do this sometimes when I'm gaming, but I'll like be playing something and I'll like die or like miss a shot or like do something weird or something. I'll be like, I'll just like look off in the. Well, see, it's easy now because there's a camera. But if it was like, let's say it was like somewhere, I'll be like.
I need to see you stream with the 2 cameras, one straight on and then one over here, and you have a button that you can click to be this one and just be like
Like, are we serious? I'll
I
be
do,
like,
but to answer
chat.
your question, I do that like if my chat like Fall Guys is a big game or was a big game
Yeah.
for my community, and if they kill me all the time, it'd be
Uh-huh.
to the point where I'm like, I'd just be
Chat.
like I'd just be straight faced into the camera, like I'm speechless because I've screamed already multiple times, and that doesn't do anything. So all I can do is just look in a defeated way.
That is
But-
so funny.
Yeah, but they're pretty ruthless.
I hope more
that
people can
standpoint.
relate to that. I just did it again.
No,
Maybe
it doesn't matter. You can keep looking at the camera
Maybe
all you
it'll
want.
stop. Maybe it'll end. I don't know.
Hey, maybe we're gonna get. You want to act, right?
Yes.
So maybe this is you're like I gotta get used to a camera being shoved in my face.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. I do want to get exposure. You know, I want to.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to earn some opportunities.
The way you said that was just interesting.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
exposure. You know, getting my feet wet with certain different things. You know. I
Yeah.
don't know. Try something new.
What do you want to do? Obviously, you want to act. Is there like
Yeah.
a genre that you're like, I want to do this type of genre?
You know, I haven't really thought like a specific genre. I
Yeah.
feel like if there's something, maybe like a script, it could be really anything. Maybe it could be anything. So I could like, I don't know. You know, it could be really anything.
Yeah. Are you like? Do you like horror films or do you like do you like biopics? Like what kind of?
Biopics are good. They're pretty popular right now.
I love biopics. It's my favorite. Well, I love history, so it's my favorite type of film to watch.
Real
But
quick, what's your favorite biopic?
I used to have this one right off the rip. You know which one okay, I don't know what one my favorite one is because there's so many. But one that I haven't seen that I want to watch is the Napoleon movie. I never got to watch that, and it's on Apple, and I don't have Apple, so then so it's like, I don't want to watch it that bad to get Apple, but like it's one where like I see it and I'm like, son of a.
Kind of looks cool, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. What's your favorite biopic?
Ooh, I mean, I really want to see A Complete Unknown, but my favorite is Elvis. I
right.
really like music.
Yeah,
Austin
I
Butler,
really
think,
I
is-
I loved Elvis when it came out.
Yeah.
Like I remember, so I work a groundskeeping job in the summer.
Okay.
And so it's just cutting grass, and I remember I had that thing on loop, that soundtrack, and I just was just cutting the just lines, and I was just like, if I could dream
Yeah,
of a
man.
better land.
Yes, yeah. I would look up the videos. Oh man, it's all in the hips. Like, oh man. I was listening to Elvis for months when that thing came out.
Yeah.
Even the some of the songs that Austin Butler sang, I have a couple of those in my playlist.
Yeah.
Pretty
The
good.
I'm trying to think. I love war films. I mean, don't love that we had to have a war of people actually dying in, but it makes great stories.
Right.
And so, like obviously you got like the Private Ryan, or even like the TV shows like what's the Brother Band? Like
Yeah,
those
Band of
ones.
Brothers.
Band of Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Brother Band is a book series. But like I just love but I just love documentaries. Like today I just caught myself watching 2 documentaries, World War II. The first one was just like the aftermath when Germany fell. So it was like how did everything happen? It was just like how like obviously because of all the terrible things they did when all the countries were coming back home, they just were effing up the Germans, like doing nasty stuff. And then like and Russia was like, we want all of this land, and then they came in, effed up everyone, and just like that whole intense craziness. But like how but like how they had to build like train rails in the cities to remove the debris, which I was like, I've never seen. Like that's interesting to like.
It's crazy,
that.
like not like the main, but like the stuff behind the scenes, like those little tales and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know too many of them, but
Wasn't there one? It can't be Switzerland because they were not in the war. They were a neutral country. But there was something like that, like in that area or something. Maybe it was Norway. I don't know. But there was like this one guy, and he just like killed. Like
everybody.
Yeah, they were like trying to march on a hill.
Oh my
and
God.
he's got like this story, and he just like killed all of them. I don't know if he died at the end, and maybe it might not have just been one. Maybe it was like 10 people. But like they were like in the mountains, and they were just effing up the Germans or something like that. Which I'm like, those are like insane stories of like, or like even there's that movie that has John Krasinski in it. No, he's not in it. Maybe he's in. What's that war? It's like they're in Afghanistan. It's like the 10 days, last stand, 10 men. It's like a movie like that.
Something like that.
But
12 Men Standing, or
something
it's with
like
one
that.
of the it's with one of the brothers of I will find it.
Yeah, but anyway, like that, like those stories, like That's crazy. Or like, what's the one in
Oh,
Texas?
it's 12 Strong with like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What's the Alamo? Like the story of the Alamo. That's just like you were in the fort, you knew you were gonna die because the Mexicans were coming in, and you're just like Davy Crockett up in the top, popping them off. It's like all right, here we are.
I'm like trying not to laugh because there's so many jokes I want to make.
Run a joke.
I can't.
We can cut it out if it's bad.
No, I can't. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But that's why I was laughing a little bit, because when we were talking, this part will cut out.
A few moments later.
And we're back.
Yes. That was good.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just like crazy, and that like you can literally make a movie about anything now. You know what I'm saying? Like you could take a story that like maybe isn't that cool, and of course you could like add a couple little sprinkles of not truth in there, but make it better.
Definitely.
But like you can make a movie out of anything, which is crazy.
I think it's hard. Well, I think it's hard to stay. That's what I was going to bring up about ChatGPT. I think it's hard to stay away from like just like making that AI kind of do it for you. Because I've kind of caught myself sometimes in some script assignments where I'm like, all right, I'm kind of stuck in a spot. So I'm like, I need a little help. But I wouldn't like, I would hopefully just get the idea. Because I mean, I think
What kind of writer are you when you create scripts?
Oh, geez. How do I answer that question?
Here, okay. For me, I'm someone that like, I have an idea. I start at the top. I have this idea. I'm like, so like 2 friends. Okay. What can we do with that? Okay, maybe we have them at like a random gas station, like my other script, or
So
like,
you, like,
or
piece
it's like,
it
or it's like that.
together a
Okay, it's
little
like then we're going through it, and then boom, bam, and then all of a sudden you get to the end, you're like, okay, the ending, and then you look back and you're like, how the heck did we get there? But I have to write it start to finish because the ideas are constantly forming, and then I go back and edit it. Or are you someone that's like, I have to literally know what the ending's gonna be, or I start like, because you know a lot of people are like, I start my book series, like a 3-book series, I know what the ending's gonna be. So it's a matter of starting and getting to that ending, and then if it takes 2-3 books, that's how they get there, you know?
Yeah, I kind of just let the ending, it'll come, right? I just want to, kind of like what you said, I start in the beginning, I want to get the setting, I want to get the characters, I kind of want to know it's, you know, get the waves flowing a little bit, and then you're like, as soon as you get the idea down, I don't hate that I do this, but I try way too much, kind of like pulling ideas from movies that I've seen, like really good ones, because it'll be like, all right, this character will kind of act like this one, or like this one will kind of act like this character from this movie or something like that. And I'm like trying to make it my own, but it's so hard not to like, you know, pull ideas from certain things.
You know what's interesting is like as you saying like I don't want my characters to like, because I love this character and I like, maybe this is what I realize all of a sudden like, oh, I'm just rewriting this character. All I can say is like, even if you do that, the actor is going to be different.
That's true.
So even if it's, I mean, unless you're like taking like slogans that character had or whatever, it's that human who's portraying that character is going to bring their own taste to it. Like there's so many films where it's like, okay, this is what I was, this is perfect. Have you ever watched the Office audition tapes?
Oh, not the audition tapes.
Okay,
I've heard about
you should watch it because it shows like all the like famous people or just people in general that audition for each role.
Yeah.
And the one that's the most interesting is Dwight.
Really?
Because all the people that auditioned for him, like that role, played like a kind of like a comedic vibe to it or whatever. Like, like I love beats, you know, they're so good, you know, and it was interesting because the 3 that you see is like, oh, that's like all the same. And then you get to, I forget who the actor's name is.
Rainn Wilson.
Thank you. I was like, R, but I didn't have it. Yeah, Rainn Wilson. You just see, it cuts to him and he's like, beats are, and it's just completely different. And it's like, that's Dwight. But like the people that are casting maybe didn't even have that. Maybe they were trying to play it funny and they just see him create that character and they're like, all right, we're going with that. Like that is funny. Which is like, you're saying like, that's just like, I think that like, as much as you like maybe don't do exactly what a character is, but it's like you could definitely take ideas of, and also there's already so many characters films out there. I've thought about 2 that I'm like, bro, what other thing can we do?
Right. Like what is there, like, I don't know, like you have Star Wars. You're like, all right,
we went through the Western, we still are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For the last 100 years, we've been making Westerns.
Still doing space battles. Action movies, I mean, horror is actually kind of on its top right now. I can't lie. That's pretty cool to see. I'm kind of warming up to those. I still jump at the jump scares.
Well, I think I do too. Actually, I
scary,
just
man.
don't watch horror films. I just can't do it. Like chat will be like, you should play this horror game. I'm like, why?
No.
I'm like, why? When like why would I do that to myself? I played Five Nights at Freddy, scariest game of my life.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough game. I can't lie. Oh my god, dude! I'll throw myself a little bit of a nerd. When I was younger, I kind of dug into the lore a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't beat any of the games. I watched the people play it. Shout out Markiplier. But
Okay.
I would just watch him play it, and then Game Theory, that channel he thought he had kind of an idea of the story, so
Yep.
I would go through that. So that's what made it pretty cool. Still to this day, nobody knows what the actual plot is. Fun fact.
For what game?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
thought you were with me.
No, I'm with you now. Yeah. Now I remember
I thought
everything
you were
you
with
said.
me
Yeah,
in the
makes sense.
beginning.
Yeah. No, like, because when the movie came out, I was like,
Really different.
okay, I probably should just like watch like an hour-long lore video on like,
Right.
just so I have like some basic. So I did that. It was pretty interesting. And then the movie was like not really that, like it had the
Yeah.
things that made it, but I
Yeah.
was like, oh, all right, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it was terrible, but
Well, I mean, I was kind of hoping for it to be like really like horror because the game is like,
so they're coming out with
Kinda.
another one, right?
I think so.
Do we know what that's about?
The second one,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Do we have a plot?
I am not sure.
I want them to go back in time.
Back in time?
Because there's no Five Nights at Freddy movie, right? Other than that one, right?
Yeah, other than the first one.
So like I think unless they like really need to keep the same actors in it or whatever, and that's like, oh, they're gonna get too, if that's the thing,
Yeah.
like sure. But like I would love to like get the lore.
Yeah, right.
Like if they did a movie
The answer.
lore, like that, yeah, exactly. Just like how did we get to Five Nights at Freddy's?
The answer, right?
But I don't know how they kill kids.
yeah,
I don't know. Interesting. But I feel like anything goes now, so probably
literally
people won't
anything goes.
Gen Z won't bat an eye. They've seen enough.
I would agree to that. Definitely seen a few things. But here, I got a really good question
Okay,
for you.
shoot.
How do you feel about open-ended movies?
Like, give me an example.
So, have you seen the movie Prisoners?
No.
Okay, I don't want to say spoilers. I'm
Okay.
trying to think of like a. So let's say
I'm trying to think of an open one too.
open-ended movie.
Oh well, you've seen Castaway.
Castaway? No, I have not seen
Okay.
Castaway.
So
This is gonna be really hard.
You know what's interesting is by you saying like open-ended movies, you're just meaning that like it's not a happy ending or something like that.
Or it's like they're leaving it up to the audience.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give us an ending.
So like you would
it's
like
kinda
okay, Incredibles 1.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
ending
yeah.
of like
it
that.
just like ends, and you're like, what? Like
Yeah.
what? You're like more. What? Where's the other? Like.
So like what's funny is I like so I like my family has always called them it's guy or girl endings. A girl ending is like it's resolved. Happy ending or it's
Okay.
not a happy ending, but it's like, oh, that makes sense why it's not a happy ending. So it's resolved because
okay.
that's the girl's ending, right? And a guy ending is like what the like it's like that doesn't make sense or like something or so like have you watched Alien?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like how they leave the ship.
Yeah.
If like nothing were to happen or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and she's on that capsule heading out. It's like that'd be a girl ending because like, oh, she's happy. But then like they bring the alien back, so it's like there's that constant like fear or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that would be like a difference between a guy and girl ending from that standpoint. So like Castaway is like a guy ending because it's like he doesn't get the girl. Like,
Okay.
oh, I don't want to ruin it, but
Spoilers.
but yeah,
That's
no.
all right. I'll still watch it probably. So.
Yeah. No, that's a good movie. You should watch that movie.
Castaway.
Especially if you're looking at acting. It's just another, not extreme acting, but it's Tom Hanks and obviously goated actor. But you just see like how he transformed his body for that film.
Okay.
Because do you know what it's about? Or no, you have no idea.
Kind of. I only know like he's on an island.
Yeah.
Stranded.
Yeah.
And
So-
his volleyball is like his only
Yeah.
like friend.
So his plane crashes or whatever. But
Okay.
in the beginning, he's obviously like just like a normal person. So he's got like a ton of weight on, and it's true weight. And then when he goes to the island, because he wanted to be like realistic of like being stuck on an island, he didn't eat, like shredded his like diet or whatever to like being bare minimum, so that he would literally be sticks and bones for the film. And I'm like, that's built different, but like it makes the movie so much more realistic because it's not like All right, he was a fat ass when he got on, and he's a fat. No, I was just like, no, like he's so good at that. But
That reminds me of Christian Bale. I can't remember the movies, but I remember just seeing these videos of when he was like really big, like he gained a lot of weight,
yeah.
and then he lost it all, kind of like skin and bones, like
Okay.
you were saying, like Tom Hanks.
yeah,
Ready, Alex? Hopefully.
I mean, I'm looking at movies of his, but I'm not seeing anywhere.
I was
big
like, I'm
in.
just looking at his body. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and for like Batman,
Yeah.
like he gained a shitload of muscle, and then they were like, "How are you gonna fit in the suit?" And they're like, and he's like, "Oh, what?" And they're like, "How? You're too big." And then he's like,
well,
"Okay."
didn't like you tailor me?
Right,
Like,
right.
What are we doing here?
I don't know, like crazy body transformation like that. That is, I don't really know if that is something I would do, but I mean, like method acting, I don't even know. I just need to really kind of zone in and really figure out like, how do I do this?
I don't know if method acting is
No,
my
I
route.
kind of, that's the first thing I thought of. Just threw it out
Yeah.
there to make me, did I sound a little bit smarter?
Yeah, no, you definitely did. Yeah. You
Be
nailed
honest.
it. You nailed it. They're not even gonna know.
They're not good. They're gonna know.
But like method acting is so.
They're gonna know.
I don't think I could get my mind, like so like if you're like a dark character, like depressed, like why would you really want to go there if you have the ability to act? But like if you don't, then like just take a different film. I'm not saying that like obviously. There's only so many opportunities, but I'm talking like a famous actor who's got opportunities, like, and it's like, hey, when you're like just really depressed, it's like, okay, I'm gonna method act and like get really dark. You know, it's like that's taxing on everything.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. Like mentally, like to play like, let's say, Jeffrey Dahmer. What's his name? Evan Peters, I
Yeah.
believe. Like it took a huge toll.
Yeah.
Like him mentally.
I hope he didn't method act. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I hope not either. But I don't know. I just like hear things about that. Like,
Hey, where's cameraman Fortnite?
Uh-oh. That would be so bad. That would be so bad. Imagine you get this role and you just turn into a psychotic killer.
Well, who
Bad
played the
news.
Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, didn't that's what I always heard was that he method acted and then kind of took him a little
that's
too
true.
far.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? He kind of went crazy. I mean, I don't know. There's speculation, and of course, there could be outside effects.
yeah.
But like from just an outside perspective, and then hearing from people that were like, remembered that death happening, like
Yeah.
they're being like, yeah, like as soon as he did that movie, he never came back the same.
Yeah,
But,
we'll see. I got to look way more into it, though, because I feel like there's a lot of different strategies. Maybe there are different strategies. I just got to zone in on it, but we'll see where that takes it.
yeah. I don't know. Acting is so fun. I realized I just need to get better at preparing myself for acting, like for film and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that's my problem right now because I know how to prepare myself for stage.
Okay.
I don't know how to prepare myself for film, and I see that in my acting is just like obviously just I wouldn't say worse, but it's definitely not as good because it's like I didn't prepare myself enough for it when I thought I did for like everything that goes on set and all that. Whereas like stage, I think you just do it so many times that you're like, okay, you walk in, go to rehearsal, and you just keep running, and you have everyone in all the scenes there working with each other. Whereas like a script, like you're on your own to memorize it all and get the emotion, feel how the other character's reacting, and then you get to set and it's like, okay, is that how I am pictured that happening?
Right.
You know, and then like so like that's why it's like I'll ask questions being like, so like what's the meaning of this scene? Because like I had this example, but is that what the director sees, or is it like, hey director, this your play on emotions, I see why you're doing it, but it doesn't make sense for this scene because it's not about this, you know, like, or just like the emphasis that you're putting on isn't in that, like it's a good part, but you just opened another can of worms over here that you never resolved that we need to resolve, or at least the audience is gonna be like, there's so much going on, like what the fuck? You know, help. But yeah, well, we've been on set a couple times together. I still laugh on that one set at that car lot. Or I was running audio, and were you assistant director?
I think Jackson was.
Okay.
I'm not really.
What was your role on set? Because you had didn't you have the paper?
There? Jacob, what was I doing there again? I had something, right?
My favorite-
I had the thing that could. that
Did you take narrative?
narrative I did not take.
Okay. So narrative, there's like a little section where you like work on like a very small script, and you got to like take 3 different types of shots to fill out the scene, right? Well, the like lighting in Studio 2 is like for TV, not meant for boom arms, and so the scene that was set up and where we were doing it was like impossible to get the boom. Well, guess who got the boom? This guy. So I'm like trying to figure out a way. So we get through it all.
Yeah.
And then like weeks go by and we get our grade and I get downgraded because he's like, oh, there was like a boom. You could see a slight shadow of the boom in like the wall or the shot. And I'm like, dude, I talked to him about it. I was like, dude, if you looked at that space, there's no way that like, how else would you be able to do this shot? And he's like,
with the sun, right, and everything too.
Well, no, this was in studio, so the lights are directed, but we can't move the lights. I'm like, it's like, how else would you have done this? He's like, I guess maybe I'd hide behind the couch and like stick it up. I'm like, yeah, but they're not talking there. And he's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, so like.
It's
which then would go back to like, okay, so maybe we can't do this shot because the shot's not going to work that you want for, which goes back to like the directing and all that kind of stuff, which is just interesting workflow.
I mean, I think that's a kind of like the whole like learning thing about it. We kind of have to figure it out because it's kind of mocking if we were on an actual set, but it's hard because they don't really tell us like those certain things that you kind of mentioned, like how am I gonna get audio here, but there's a shadow.
Yeah.
And then the like, you
well,
gotta
like,
think about
it's like
the lighting.
Now it's like I just
like
use a lav mic, but we didn't have them. So it's like, well, like
you're
the option that we would have done, we didn't have that ability, which again would be the argument. It's like if you're in the real world and it's like, hey, you need this shot, but you don't have this. What are you gonna do? And it's like, okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, with the limited equipment that we had, I mean, it was still a blast. Like being on the set and everything, it was so fun because I've never really experienced anything like that before.
Did you work on a lot of short films through college or no?
Through college.
What did you get tied in for RTF?
So, okay, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because
do you need time to think?
No, I was thinking about that on the way here actually because I went into college undecided. I thought, okay, well, a camera was involved, but I was thinking like photography. Okay. I was like, okay, maybe it could be like I don't know what the role is actually called, but the people on like those crime scenes that would take pictures of like I don't know what those guys, but
isn't it a forensic scientist or something?
Something like that.
Isn't that what the Flash does?
Yes. Yes, I actually watched it. I was like, oh my god, that looks like a fun job. Like, what is that? And I looked into it kind of. Ooh, that first social justice class.
Oh yeah,
tough. But I was like, all right. So kind of dodged that. So I was undecided. I'm like,
Smurf.
Yeah, like, whoa. And I started watching more movies, surprisingly. I started going to the movie theaters more.
Okay, yeah.
That's my sophomore year.
Okay. Was there a movie that you watched that you're like, I got to be a part of this?
Oh, what was it? It was one of my first film classes.
Yeah.
I think, crazy enough, Singing in the Rain.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It was my first personal black and white film I've ever seen.
Huh.
And it was surprisingly a musical.
Yep.
And I was like, all right. Walking into it, I was like, all right, let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't really have an open mind. Played it. Whoa. I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, I'm singing in the rain.
I'm singing in the rain. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Use that song.
I could.
Yeah. You just
singing
need a quick
in the rain.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Voila.
That movie is so good.
See, for me,
for you, how was it?
These 2 films.
Blade
Runner and Casablanca, which is the black and white.
So, I have a question about Casablanca because when I was getting into film, a lot of people are saying that's the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Oh, there's hesitation.
I don't know what the definition of greatest film would be.
Fair.
Would it be like greatest film could be money? Did it make money? Because then that means people liked it. Greatest film, did it use a lot of different shots? Greatest film, did it? Because like this was, I don't know if this was the first film for it, but I know what they did was there's like one shot where he goes into like a bedroom and there's like a wall and then they just pan across the wall, like the outside of the wall, but it's in the inside of the house.
Yeah.
And then like he's in the bedroom. And so they were like, that was like a unique way to do it or something like that. And there was other mirror stuff I think in the film. So like maybe it could have been like the most creative creative film at the time to like tell a story. But I don't know, because there's also like Blade Runner, for example. I don't think this is the best film, but the reason why I like, that's the film that got me into film. I was in a film class in high school, and I was like, bro, people like, this is like a job. I'm like, there's a way that you could do this, and just like this has like so many different like Easter eggs, hints. Like this is an open ending. This is a guy ending. This is a guy ending. It's you don't know. They
Perfect
like, and then
example.
depending on the cut, the director's cut or your cut, you don't know if they get away, where they're going if they got away, and so it's like you don't know if he's a robot or not. You're just like left up, and like the unicorn at the end lines up with the dream, but how would that guy know if the dream unless he knew he was an android? And so it's like all those things. It's like to be able to tell a story in so many different ways. It's like that's what gets me excited about telling stories in film. And then so like I was like, after that I was like, okay, I got to figure out a way how to do this. And then I just stumbled upon Oshkosh, and I was like, that's an easy choice.
I love looking into it because, you know, growing up, I thought movies were just like movies. And I was like, Star Wars, good example. I thought Darth Vader was real. Like the Death Star, everything. Like it was in space.
Thank God they didn't get to Earth.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. We wouldn't be here at all.
Yeah, honestly, if Luke didn't clutch
Stormtrooper
up.
probably.
No, you would have because you're too tall.
I'm too tall?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah, they're clones.
They're supposed to
Actually,
be
no, didn't they? There was a hired hand by the time the Empire came
Alex,
around.
can you ask ChatGPT if there's a height limit to be a
Yeah. Please. Wait, what's your guess? What's your guess at the height? Do you think there's no limit?
5'11" or 6 foot?
You could be like one of those like black troopers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ones that like that's what they sound like or whatever. I don't know what they're called though. Oh, it's like on the tip of my tongue too. But I don't think you could be a normal one. But you could be. Yeah, some weird. Oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna guess the limit is like 5'11".
Yeah, I'm thinking 5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah.
Survey says.
Do we have it?
Survey says, like they didn't say there's an official limit, but they say the stormtroopers were often in the range between 5'8" and 6 foot.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Can't be a stormtrooper.
I would have been way too tall for that.
Yeah. Dang. Imagine flying in one of those things.
I guess we'd have to be like Jedi.
That'd be a little bit better. Oh, episode 3 would happen though. But we make it out. We make it out. I hope.
See, were you like 100% Jedi, the good side, the light, or were you like, I don't know, the dark side kind of like the dark side was calling. There was like nights where you're like, but the red blade, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, low key. When episode 1,
Yep.
when I saw Darth Maul for the first time, and he was like,
Ba-da.
I was like,
And then you had, and then it's, and then you're like, that's the first time you see the second one. You're like,
yeah, dude, because he only had
Yeah.
in the beginning of the film, he only took out one of them. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And then this guy goes, Chad, are we serious? Double, and then they start fighting. I'm like, my mind is like, how did George Lucas sit in his little
and create the world?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I had like these DVDs where like these
Yeah.
behind the scenes thing, and George Lucas like walked in this like little like attachment, like it looked like a little hut. How did he sit in there and go, oh yeah, episode 1, it just boom, episode 2, boom. I wish I had a creative brain like that.
Well, he created a world, so it's easy because you just keep building off the world you create. You know what I'm saying? Where
guess
it's
that's true.
not a different. Once you create the world's created.
That's
then you
true.
just tell the story in the world. I think what's difficult is like when you keep jumping different worlds. That's like, okay,
Yeah.
I have to like, what's the currency? What's the clothing? What's the power? What's the structure? And like all those kind of things where it's like, oh no, you just got credits. That's what the financial thing is the whole time. And it's like once you make those decisions and you stay in that world, it's pretty. I would assume it's not easy, but it's like kind of straightforward in the sense of like,
how cool would people do that for a job?
like we should create a world. Alex, you down?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, yeah, we create a world. What would our world be?
All right, what's is it a planet or is it just
Well, no, it's a story or place. It doesn't matter. It could be like
all right?
like, do we want to go medieval? Because like he went complete space, different
Are we
planets,
talking,
but
like-
we could go like, what's it like to like live in like a massive like Camelot back in medieval ages, and it's like someone who it's someone who's like that thing swung.
Got excited.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like it's just like the story of like these people that are peasants that like either through crime or through like something like raise up through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? Because so you could do like a small world like that, or you could just be like
world.
That's the other thing too, is like if you go big, it's never gonna be Star Wars.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's gonna be your own thing.
but I mean, people aren't gonna like it.
Oh,
because
wow,
Star
'cause
Wars
it's not
already
Star Wars.
exists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like
dude.
the Star Trek and Star Wars kind of maxed it out. You
Yeah,
know?
it's hard. See, that's why I think it's hard to like think of something. It's like, well, all right, we already got that. We already got.
And I
this.
bet the thing that I just said about Camelot and medieval is probably a movie or two. Already.
Maybe. hopefully not. That'd be something crazy.
Yeah. So that's the thing too, is like we don't have money to film like big budgets, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
what stories can we create? Which is just like a different way to create, but it also has its own challenges, right? So it's like you can only tell the same story of brothers hanging out so many times.
So many times.
But then maybe you just got to get more creative. You could do like a film about a casino and be like, hey, can we film in the casino? But they'd probably say no. But,
Right. The permission.
Yeah.
and
So it's like you would have to like find
vision.
someone who would allow you to do that.
Yeah.
But
And then the vision starts shaking. You're like, oh, we can't film there.
I
so
bet
then
you
we
could just
gotta-
be like, hey, I'm like live streaming.
oh.
And then if like, yeah, but I don't know how. I
don't know how you-
do
I
it
don't
because
know.
you'd be like action.
I don't know how you get past
Action
that.
rolls the dice.
Come on, 6.
Isn't it
That was
7?
nice.
Isn't it 7 that they want? I've never gambled. Isn't it 7?
Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
Alex, do we know?
Maybe I wanted. A
Is
6.
it is that blackjack too? No.
Blackjack's 21. Like,
Yeah, blackjack. You're
I
right.
know how to
Blackjack's
play
21.
blackjack.
What's the dice game? Because I just watched a short, which was a movie or TV, because that's all the ones I get, and it was like about this guy who grabbed like had the same kind of dice as the dealer and like shaved off the corner right
craps.
for. Yeah, crap. Yep. And like because he shaved it off, it would always roll the same way that he wanted, so he'd always get the 7s. And then the casino's like, something's fishy here, bro. It's like winning every time.
Yeah,
and then
right.
this whatever happens in the film. But I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, so craps you want either 7 or 11.
Okay.
All right. So
Is there a difference between 7 and 11?
I'm not going to read all the rules. I'm sorry.
But like, does it just say like the points
7,
value or
8,
something?
9?
Like does 7 double what you put down?
Avoid becomes your point.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just
No.
confused.
Okay, yeah. We'll skip it. I didn't know if it was gonna be like 11 does it by a little bit.
Is my audio still good? Because I accidentally.
No, you should be.
Yeah, you're good.
All
fine,
right,
you're
cool.
fine. That wouldn't affect it. We'll just hear a massive doom. But yeah, I don't know. I think. Oh well, let's go back to so your story on how you ended up. I'm so famous for like switching.
No,
topics,
dude, I'm the same
but-
way. There's been a lot because we'll talk about one thing and then
Yeah,
they'll be
dude.
like, oh my god, what
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
we kind of like skyrocket and then we'll.
Eventually you get.
It's
Hey,
so funny.
eventually you get back. Okay, so
Yeah.
you've realized, hey, criminal, whatever, investigating. That's not gonna be my thing because that
was-
class was rough.
Yeah, that was kind of out the door.
But you liked cameras always.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know I did until I toured the studio for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
So that was kind of cool seeing
Yep.
like kind of like this, like the
Yeah.
lights and the separate equipment.
Yeah.
And I hear that you get to take you
Yeah.
take their equipment, to your own, whatever.
But you have to film your project. You can't do your own projects. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, right. You know what I mean. But there was that, and then, when movies are like, oh, this is a true story, or
Yeah.
like,
Based off.
based off whatever. I
Whatever.
love like The Conjuring, for example. Like looking into it, it's like what, like it's a true story, and then
Yeah.
I start looking up like behind the scenes, and then they show like how they made this or
Yep.
how they made that, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? There's actually a lot more that goes into it than just like, all right, like you do that, you do this. Like obviously there's editing in there because there's no way that director looked
Yeah.
at somebody went like, fly. Maybe if I told my 8-year-old self that, he
Yeah, that's
would believe
method
it.
acting.
Yeah. Yes. I can fly. David Cornsweat. That funny story, real quick.
Yes, I love stories.
Real quick. There was I saw this on Twitter. Funny enough, James Gunn's looking for like minimal VFX and like CGI green screen work, and some guy like quote tweeted it, so it'll show the original post, and then for those who don't know what that is, and then it'll show like the guy who like I don't know how to explain it. But it's kind of like whatever that is.
I got you. Yeah.
And the guy was like, whoever's going to be the next Superman needs to learn how to fly because they're going to look at him and go, ready, action. And he's going to jump off that building like, all right, let's hope for the best. David Cornsweat can fly.
Yeah.
Trailers are out now in theaters July something.
How do you feel about that film coming out? Wait, no, we're not getting distracted.
We'll get there.
RTF, you're school. Okay, so you toured. Was that like your immediate like boom going to this program, or were you like, okay, let's take a couple classes, see what it's like?
Couple classes.
Oh, okay.
It was definitely the couple of classes because that's when Singing in the Rain. Yeah. And then we talked about it.
What year did you go to, like start school?
So I mean, I was 2020, 2024. So I was
okay. It's the same time.
Yeah, same time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, watched a few more movies, and I'm like, okay, how did they make this? Looked it up, and then I looked up a few of the scripts and read a couple of those, and kind of like watched at the same time. I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
There's just, like I said, so much more that goes into it.
I want to do that. I haven't done that before, where I sit down with the script and not necessarily read it, but just see what it is. I need to do that because I think that'll help me as an actor, help you as an actor. Like, I think when you like, you're like, okay, this is how you would get there. And it's like,
yeah, it's, see, that's the thing I have trouble with because I don't know which script is like the legit one. Because, there's all those PDFs. Yeah. There's like the original screenplay you could buy, but like, I could just look it up, right? Like, where's the PDF? But
ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, wait. Alex, try it out. Can like be like, what's this? What script do we want to look up?
What's the script
for Singing in the Rain?
Yep, sure.
Be like, I wonder if they'd be like, probably not, because it'd probably be restrictions to something. Wait.
Sorry, hold on. I accidentally opened up an incognito tab.
I was like, bro's clicking. I'm like, you got a link?
Well, like I switched cameras, so I pressed like Alt-1 and then
yeah.
I don't know if this will be in the video, but I love turning around and asking the guy in the chair to look stuff up. Wow, it is so much fun.
It's just like Joe Rogan. It's the Joe Rogan experience.
Yes,
that's literally. Well, and that's the thing.
Okay, I'm back to ChatGPT. What was the question again?
Look up the script for Singing in the Rain, something like that.
Yeah. Original screenplay for Singing in the Rain. Oh man,
I'm gonna get a bunch of film ads and stuff because my Alexa's been listening to us the entire time. Okay. Do we have a full script?
Actually, this is the shortest answer I've ever seen from ChatGPT.
No.
So it said the script in Singing in the Rain is copyrighted, so I cannot be provided.
Okay, that's what I figured. All right.
Yeah.
Useless. I'm just kidding.
We
useless ChatGPT, not Alex.
We need the Chinese version ASAP. I don't know what it's called, but we got to bring it. No. Okay. So then you watched a couple more films. Did all that kind of stuff.
Looked up more behind the scenes, of course, and then I saw it's called, I think, Film Society.
Oh yeah.
What was it? I think it was called Titan Films, or it is called Titan Film Society.
IFB no, it's not. I don't know what it is.
It's all new now, but
International Film Society.
I heard that they were kind of doing short films, I was like, okay, like let's see what's up with that. So then that's when I first boomed. And
wait, what film did you boom?
That was Cappuccino.
Oh, okay.
Cappuccino.
No, wait, didn't you boom? Oh, maybe that was before that. Didn't you boom Jackson's?
And I boomed that one.
Which one was that before or after Cappuccino?
That was after.
Oh, I thought Cappuccino was way
No, that was
earlier.
That was the first one that I did, and then that was the second one. Boomed that one.
That was the first time I worked with you on set.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
Booming though, that gets to you in the shoulders a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were professionals. Go you. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, they definitely like do something. They have the perfect training of what.
Bro, they just stand here like this, and they're like how do.
My favorite is when you watch them.
How close can you get?
Okay, wait. You might have to go wide shot for this. My favorite thing is when you watch them like hold it or whatever, and then they like it's like quick movements, and then it's like flipping. Like they're getting the perfect audio, flip back and forth, turn around, other side, and you're like, bro, what are we doing here? It's like,
Yeah,
that's too skillful. We gotta get this guy in the military. He can kill someone.
What are we doing?
No, but like, okay, so you did a couple. So you still weren't a major at the time, or did you declare before then?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning of, or in the middle of sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah. Then once I was kind of in it, did a couple of classes, learned about film society, did that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Saw Boom wasn't really for me. Like
Yeah.
I kind of took a step back and I was like, I mean, yeah,
Never
like
again. No.
yeah, kind of. I was like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like I'm tall, so it's good.
Yeah.
Because of my length.
Yeah.
But I'm like I kind of want to do something else. I want to do more. I don't know.
You want more. You knew you wanted more, but you didn't know what it would be.
Yes, I have no idea. Could it be acting? Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not. That's why I'm.
Is that what leads us here today?
Could be.
Could be.
I hope so. It could be. I mean, I don't know. I want to try new things. Kind of want to see like. Well, I would like a job, you know, with the degree we got. You know,
Yeah.
we worked hard to get it.
Yeah.
Like I want to at least say I tried. You know.
I wish I was into editing.
Yeah. Wow. Those guys get paid a lot of dough.
Well, not even that, but just
No,
there's
not
so
that.
many
Right.
editing jobs.
I'm just kidding. But yes.
Well, they get paid based off either like commission or the amount of footage that they edit.
Oh God.
So in order to make a ton of money, you have to edit a ton of footage, and I don't have that dog in me.
No, my head just hurt. I just got immediate PTSD from the hours upon hours I was on Avid for a couple of assignments. Oh my God. I'm like spamming the save button. I load it up and it's not there.
Yes, me too. Every project.
And now I got to go talk to my professor. Hey, remember that thing?
I think Avid messed up.
Yeah, I think I downloaded a virus. I mean, there's a virus I got onto the thing and my thing is gone.
Dude, my favorite thing was
I need an extension.
I edited my complete project. It was like I was like, I'm gonna get this done ahead of time. Completed the whole project. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I submitted it because I was like, I just want to like double check to make sure I have it right for the next day, right? Because it's that classic. Come back the next day, it's gone. But it's not just gone. There's like you said, there's some weird thing on Avid now because of the way it uploaded that I go to the professor and I'm like, hey, like, what's up? She's like, I've never seen that before. She's like, honestly, you're just gonna have to sit down in one sitting and complete it. And I'm like, what the? So I had to spend a whole nother day and night to just edit the project, submit it. And I was like, bro, that was the start of my hating of editing in Avid.
Yeah.
But
Sound. No.
no.
Well,
Assistant
something.
directing, telling actors what to do. No.
Like editing sound. Oh my God.
Well, okay, wait, Alex, what do you... I always knew you as light boy. Just because of everything that we ended up working on, you were always in charge of lights. I don't know how that happened. Do you like doing that? Or are you like, it's just, I don't know, I just got labeled that and then I was stuck like that through school.
I'm going to be completely honest. I think I worked on Jacob's film Cappuccino, like doing lights, and then everyone just like thought I did a good job. I had no idea what was going on.
My favorite thing was when we did Lauren's film, remember? And I somehow got put on lights, and I was like, bro, I don't really know what's going on. And then we didn't use any lights because it was already lit up. And so then I just sat there doing nothing. And then there was like some chick in the background of when we were shooting the film, and because it was a public place, she just got up and left. So then the continuity would have been weird because it would have been like a girl would have been there, and then no one between shots, and it probably was gonna be like back and forth. So then they're like, Jordan, just go back there and sit. So then I went back and sat in the back of that film, and it's just me like playing Clash of Clans or something.
You're like playing Brawl Stars.
Yeah, Brawl Stars or something, as like they're filming this movie, and I'm like, wow, honestly, this is the like best lighting job you could ever get.
Lighting. Oh.
Then I got an extra credit in being in that film, but I was like W's. But anyway,
I don't mind lighting.
Okay,
it's
wait.
just,
I was gonna say, Alex, is there something that you like prefer?
I don't think I've got like an actual preference on stuff. I do like, you know, enjoy lighting to a degree. I just don't think like I don't actually know what's going on.
It's so it's so hard.
It's so hard.
Bro, there's shadows all the way around.
There's shadows
this
and
thing.
like stuff like I don't know how people actually do it in the real industry.
No, seriously. Like I think through Diller's cinematography class, he was really, really big on lighting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's I think I think a lot of people, I'm sure, can say this. Dude, lighting is probably the hardest thing to get down.
Well, when you came in here today, I changed up lighting. I added another light, and it was like it changed the set. And I was like, okay, it's better, but now everything is different. Like, we got to adjust to it or whatever.
Right.
Which, again, and we talked about it, like working with the cameras to make sure that the settings are all right because of the lighting. It's just like, it's so... Everything is so important in its own way to make it all work together, which is what's crazy about the film process or whatever.
And I think it's cool that there's like so many different people involved because it's like their own little thing. Like, you know, like
it's
the
cultish.
clip crew
It's
or like
cultish.
kind of. It's like the audio crew and like the grips.
My
the
favorite
lighting.
my favorite was when we were on that one set in like 3 a.m. in the morning. Because we had to get there before sunrise. Because the drone shot, needed to see them pull in at sunrise.
Yeah, crazy.
And the guy's car is packed full of stuff. And it was so packed that we couldn't get it out. And so then we're just like, huh, and it's not coming out of the car. And then it's pitch black. So when we get stuff out, all of a sudden you just hear something fall and you're like, I don't know where it is. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, the flashlights are on. We're like, hey, which one was that?
And it was cold.
Yeah,
because I remember we went in the car to just sit there because we were like, it was so cold.
Blast the heat. Our hoods are up. We got the
strings tight.
The strings are tied up. We're sitting there like.
And then literally it's like burning hot that day. I took off my jacket. I was like,
that was so weird. It was so cold in the morning and then it warmed up throughout the day. Oh man,
crazy times,
dude. I love that. How we can look back on that and laugh about it. That is awesome.
That's the other thing too, is like there's some film projects I'm like, oh, what happened? Like, what are we doing here? But then it's like, I know looking back, I'll be laughing so hard. Like with all the little things that like went wrong or whatever.
Dude, yeah, I guarantee that's probably how it happened. Well, okay, probably not as much goofing off as some sets are, but
yeah. I think it depends on the director. So it's how the director holds the set. So if you get a director that's like, hey, like, as long as you're doing your job, I don't mind.
I'm kind of a goofball, so I feel like I kind of accidentally add to the element of getting people.
I don't know. Every set that I've worked on has been like, you can goof around as long as you are doing your job. If you're not doing your job, then everyone, including the other actors, are like, get your shit together.
Right.
Like, and then compared to like being on stage and like seeing how that, it's like, different? It's usually it's business, but I've also been on sets where like it's not really run the greatest, or not sets, like stage where it's not run the greatest, and so then there's a lot of time to just, if you're not in the scene and you're on the wings of the stage, you're just talking about this craziest stuff or whatever, and then it's like you hear the line that's supposed to like be your entrance, you're like, shh. And like, and you pull it off and you're like late, and like the director's like, were you like, you came late or whatever, and it's like, oh, I was just trying something new.
Yeah, I thought I'd really impact here if I came in
just like 5 seconds late.
Yeah, she's like, no.
Yeah, no. But there are, I mean, I like both things. I think that's the thing I got to remember. I'm just more used to stage, and we'll get on with film or whatever. But
I have to bring up, you guys remember Honeydew when we did that? Not the one that you were the host of. But
the one that you got me almost wrecked.
Story time.
So
I...
Wait, actually, Alex, explain what your show was about.
It's like basically Taskmaster, except our version of it. And you were one of the people. Henry
I was a contestant,
there at the set day. I think that's what happened with the table. You can explain the table.
Yeah. No, wait. So we go. Okay, this is what's happened. I'll set up the story and then I'll get to your part. Okay, so the show is like a bunch of tasks, just like Alex said, and you're competing with the other contestants or whatever. And so, it's literally like I think I get screwed the first task was like the dumbest thing ever. I like lost. Everyone did their task in like 10 seconds. It took me a minute and a half. So I got last place.
It took like 10
but
minutes.
then the other one, I didn't ask any questions because everyone was laughing at me the entire time like I was an idiot, which like I guess I was. But I was like, literally they like walked into a room and they didn't tell you anything. They're like, complete the task. And I'm like, what is the task? I'm like, what is going on? Like, what's legal? What's not legal? Anyway, that was my problem. So then I figured it out for the second task. Crushed that thing. Did that in 3 seconds. Everyone else took a minute and a half. But then the third task, so everything's kind of like I'm tied up with some of the people, and so all I have to do is win the like live task to do it. And so the live task was you had marshmallows and like toothpicks, build a tower, tallest tower standing wins, right? My tower, tallest one standing. And one of the other contestants also had a tower, but right before we went to break, you see it fall. And so then we go to break. We come back, she picks it up, leans it up, and so it's a little bit taller than mine. And then the producers decided, oh, well, we're just going to have her win because there's technically taller. So I'm upset because I'm like, bro, what is I'm like, this wasn't fair at all. I'm like, I had an amazing comeback of like being literally in last place to winning, and I had it. So this whole time we're talking, but also Ryan, who is the host, is getting in his ear, hey, we got time to kill. Like, so we just need to like talk about stuff because it's a live show. So they're talking about stuff, which is making me more upset because I'm like, this is so rigged, which then we get, so then people are like laughing in the background, like behind the cameras. And then all of a sudden Henry, you can explain the next part.
So okay. In the you know, of course, like you have those like kind of jokes. You're like, oh, dude, wouldn't it be funny if like they just
did something crazy?
did something crazy. Light bulb. Uh-oh. I'm like, oh yeah, I think I got it. I look at Jordan. I'm like, Jordan.
No, you know what? No, I didn't see you.
It wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me.
All right. So I told
No,
someone.
you were in the back.
I was in the back?
Yeah, you were in the back. So someone was, you yelled it out loud. I had no idea who said it.
I thought, okay,
No. You said it out loud. And so I assumed it was someone who was a part of the project.
I'm like, yo, guys. Yeah.
You're like,
yo, guys, when it's over, flip the tables. Because, like, just get angry, just flip it.
Yeah, and then all I hear in the back is like, all I hear in the back is, flip the table. You flip it. You got it. Flip the table. And so I'm thinking it's someone. I'm assuming because I've been in other shows. This is a class, so everyone in the class is in it, whether you're working on it or not. So, but I'm assuming everyone who's in the room is on the show. So I'm like, okay, it must be like a producer that's like trying to get more comedy out of it. So I'm like, okay, actor brain, we're gonna stay mad. I wasn't really mad, but I was like, I'm gonna stay mad, and I just grabbed the table and flipped the table. Everything goes flying. The table goes flying, and I storm off the set. And then all of a sudden everyone just goes and I'm like, as I'm walking off Matt, I'm like, that's not a good gasp. I'm like, that's not good. Anyway, turns out I shouldn't have done that, but I never got yelled at for it because I think it was kind of funny. But
it worked.
It worked, and then we went back to the host. He's like, all right, we'll see you next week. And then
crazy.
Then they went
we did this little meeting. We usually do meetings when we're done with like a studio production.
Yeah. What happens after? Yeah,
we did that like circle, and the professor was just. She kind of did one of those like looked over disappointed
to
looks.
you
not to me. The tables are just flipped, right? Like everything is just everywhere, dude. Marshmallows, toothpicks, everything is just everywhere.
Yeah.
And then she just started talking about, oh, this is due.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys later. And then we're all like,
elephant in the room. That's
yeah.
I guess we can let it be there.
I was kind of like looking at everything. I was like, all right, yeah. And I did help clean it up. Don't listen.
It turns out that her biggest fear was that she thought the tables were way closer to the cameras, and her fear was that the cameras are really expensive.
Yeah.
And she was worried that they would have hit the camera and wrecked the camera. But
yeah,
it wasn't that close.
If I'm ever on anybody's set, whoever's watching, duct tape my mouth shut or like. I don't know. I'm gonna go stand in the corner so I don't say anything.
We got audio rolling. Check. We got speed. We got camera rolling. Speed. All right. Action. Flip the table.
That was
good times. Sweet. Well, I feel like that's a good place that we can log off. So everyone, thanks for watching and getting to this show. We'll cut the camera too so I don't look stupid at the end. No. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.